I'm Ken Moody. Welcome to Ken Moody Hunting TV. Today we're back in Africa for more Big 5 hunting action. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back with all that action.
Slick Trick Broadheads presents Ken Moody Hunting TV. Ken Moody Hunting TV is brought to you by Slick Trick Broadheads, Elite Archery, North Fork Technologies, True Fire Releases, Vapor Trail Archery, Gunner's Taxidermy, Fauna and Flora Custom House Brokerage, and Ken and Paul's Family Steakhouse.
Our first hunt today is with Bob Folkrod as he continues his obsession quest and his quest for the Big Six with us. And we are hunting elephant again in Zimbabwe. Now, elephant hunting is controversial because people don't understand the need to conserve elephant. And that's what we're doing today. We're showing you an elephant hunt. For an elephant we took out of a herd of over 110 bulls that had moved out of the national park onto private property. When it moves into those areas, we take a few of those bulls, then they move back in the park. But it's all about keeping the numbers steady and keeping the herds healthy. Now, this hunt with Bob occurred again, like I said, in Zimbabwe, not far from Bulawayo. And the way to hunt elephant is really the only way I know is to find the track, take the track, pursue the elephant. Now, that can take you on a hike for miles. Now, once you find a suitable track, and you're looking for a large track that's very smooth, because as an elephant ages, his feet will become smooth, and that smooth track indicates an old bull or an old elephant. Then you have to take that track and you have to walk that elephant down, and then hope that once you find that elephant, it is a mature bull ready to be taken. If it's an immature bull, you don't take it. If it's a huge cow, you don't take it. We only take mature bulls ready to be taken. And that's what we did in this area. But again, we got lucky. What we had done is stopped and talked to some of the locals that lived in the area. And they told us of elephant that were just a few miles away from that location, and that was elephant we could approach and get in on. So what we did, we got in close, we took up the track, we tracked the herd, and we came in on about 5 or 6 big elephant bulls. And anyway, when this one presented itself, Bob knew what to do.
This is a watering point back inside here, where the elephant come quite frequently, especially in the evening. They come and drink here. So what we'll do is just go in there, see if we can find some tracks. Maybe we'll be lucky and bump into some elephant.
Seen any big ones? Big tusk, huh?
Yeah, got very long tusk. But we'll just have to see.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, when we go in there. There's quite a few elephant in here, so we stand a pretty good chance. Go in there and see what we can.
Good.
The wind's still good. They're pretty close now. We should see them any moment. But they're right in that thick stuff. So we're just gonna have to go slowly in there. Just remember, keep very quiet.
Right, he's done. He's done. He's done.
What a shot! Oh.
Come in, Scuff.
Yes, yes.
Wait, what was the bull?
Yeah. Oh man, look at that. Wasn't that so? What a rush, I'll tell you what.
That was incredible.
Right in on top of him like that.
Thick stuff. But you see how they disappear?
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Then he's gone. Then he's there, then he's gone.
We were right there and then we had to back off a little bit. Then I could see his whole head and just like you said, I could see that ear hole. I was right down on one knee.
As we were backing off, I saw him come out and then that's when he suddenly pulled you and back we went again.
Yes, yes.
And there he was.
Ooh, and he went down.
Now talk about tons of fun. I mean, that was a beautiful elephant bull. Bob shot it properly. What you like to do with a rifle is execute a nice broadside brain shot that will kill the elephant instantly, which is our goal on every hunt, even more so with an elephant. And then we were able to move in and take a look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animal. Now some of you might say, well, what do you do with an elephant? Why shoot an elephant? Well, for the reasons I've mentioned before regarding conservation, you hunt elephant. Additionally, all of that meat goes to feed the local villagers. When an elephant hits the ground, the word's put out, and everybody shows up in the local area. I guarantee you we had over 100 local indigenous people come to that site with knives, hatchets, bags and buckets, and they took every scrap of meat, internal organ, everything off of that elephant, and that will feed them for half a year anyway. Now what does that do? That keeps them happy. That makes them promote hunting. That makes them report poaching. They don't want these elephants poached. They want them hunted legally so that they can partake of the meat. And that keeps them themselves from poaching. So it's win-win for everyone. We were able to maintain the herd, take one of the excess bulls out, and provide food and sustenance for hundreds of people for at least half a year's time. And that's the way it works in Africa. That's the way it has to work, and that's the way it will work as long as we're smart enough to realize it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our next action-packed hunt.
We'll be right back with more Ken Moody Hunting TV.
Our next hunt today is for an animal, the only animal in Africa that came within inches of killing us, and that is the rhinoceros. Now rhino, people think again they're endangered. No. Rhino are very controlled hunted, and that money that goes from the hunter to the concession for that rhino hunt goes on to help in rhino propagation. If rhino were not a commodity, poachers would wipe them out for the horn. But as such, being a commodity, they pay for themselves, and you take one bull and you've got enough money to continue to care for the rest. That's how it works again in Africa. Now this rhino was all stalked. It was all on foot, stalking, and we had trouble from the get-go. The wind was hinky all day. Every time we tried to approach this specific bull that we were going to take, the wind would blow, the bull would run. The wind would blow, the bull would run. Over and over and over again. Until finally, it gave us a shot.
Not as thick as this is.
We're just gonna leave them because they were running now.
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave them for 5 or 10 minutes so they just can relax again.
Well done. Sheesh. Man. There was no doubt it was going to run over me. That mother had me right here. I could see it. The horn was right there. There's no doubt it was running over me.
Excellent.
And right at the last second, she went her off to the left. I could have touched her with my rifle. I swear to you, man, I thought she was going to run flat over me.
And this one was run straight to the camera.
Yeah.
The male. I was looking at the male. I didn't see where the female went.
I can tell you where
she was right behind you.
See them tracks? That horn was right there. There's no question, man. I thought I got the second shot off, but I thought for sure that was run. Well, don't tell anybody they can't run.
I know they do. But they do. Must have hit the lung with the first shot because there's blood coming out here.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Nico, I've had some absolutely close calls in my lifetime. I've had polar bear shot 7 yards coming at me. I got in a wrestling match with a black bear and killed him with a knife, but never in my life have I had a rhino the length of the barrel coming straight at me.
Well, that was a close shave. That was really close. But we are very lucky. It's dead right in front of the camera.
He knocked the camera over. I'll tell you what, they zeroed in on us, didn't they?
Yeah, because I think they know that we were here all the time, and the wind is not that good as well. And when that shot got off, they just ran straight to us. Well done, sir. That was.
You too, man.
Congratulations.
Oh,
excellent shooting.
I let Ken Moody talk me coming over here and doing the big six, and the big six just about took us down.
Yes, this is the last one?
That was the last one.
And you won't forget this one.
To think that I could be home hunting turkeys. Oh man, gobble gobble.
Good job, man.
Hey, you too.
Good job. That is not, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here filming this thing, and when you look in this viewfinder, you kind of lose yourself in the situation. You're not paying attention. You know, you're just watching, and as that thing's charging, I'm panning back. And then it gets right here, and then I run this way, and you guys drop this big, magnificent bull right on top of the camera. I could not believe it.
I want to tell you, you don't start with rhino first. I want to tell you, we're going to come over and do some plains game.
We're going to shoot an impala.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you wondering what just happened, well, let me tell you what just happened. Upon the shot, the rhino turned. Both rhino turned and charged to our left and front. But as they charged in that direction, they caught our scent because the wind was blowing directly to them. They turned into the wind and charged. And I mean, both rhino charged abreast, side by side, and I was behind the camera filming the bull we had shot, and he came directly towards that camera. And fortunately for me, our PH, who was standing right there, was able to put a finishing shot into that rhino. But the sheer momentum of that huge bull carried him forward, knocking over the camera, and he landed on top of the camera with his head actually resting on the camera. That was really a harrowing experience. That's why a lot of guys hunt dangerous game. I'm not a thrill junkie. I like things to go like clockwork, smooth, but you have to be prepared for those types of situations. And that leads us into what we're going to talk about right after these messages.
We've got more action coming up. Stay tuned. Ken Moody Hunting TV. We'll be right back.
We're here at the range today to talk about big bore rifles for Africa. If you're going to come to Africa and hunt dangerous game, it's important and legally required that you have a caliber capable of taking that game cleanly. Now this is my big bore arsenal for Africa. I have two 375 H&H Magnums, a 4.58 lot, and my trusty 470 double rifle. Let's talk about these rifles and calibers for a moment. The 375 H&H is the minimum legal requirement or minimum legal caliber required for use on dangerous game in Africa. This is a rifle I had built back in 1993. It's an Inner Arms Whitworth built on a Kevlar Bell & Carlson stock. It's a great rifle. It's my #1 rifle, and if I can only carry one in Africa, this is the rifle I take. 375 H&H is an outstanding caliber. This other 375 that I own is a Winchester Model 70. This gun was built in 1962, so it was built the same year I was. And this is the standard by which all bolt action rifles are measured, the pre-64 Model 70 Winchester. Outstanding rifle. From time to time I take this to Africa with me in lieu of the other. I want to fire a round out of a 375 H&H Magnum. Hold your ears. Notice the recoil. Of course, when I'm backing up clients in Africa, I carry my Merkel 470. The 470 Nitro Express is probably the finest caliber ever invented, in my opinion. It's a great caliber. It's capable of stopping any charge if the bullet's properly placed. This particular model has a recoil reduction system located here. It's basically a mercury-filled piston, and when you shoot the recoil rifle, as it recoils backwards or to the rear, the mercury pushes forward and it helps reduce recoil significantly. Plus, it's a little bit heavy. That also helps in recoil. But what I love about this rifle is short-barreled. A double gives you 2 quick shots because sometimes you won't have time to work that bolt, and you're able to bring this thing straight to shoulder and fire. So the 470 double is my favorite rifle. But again, double rifles are expensive, not required by any means for a client to use. Just a good stopping gun. Next, the 470 Nitro Express, the big peel. If I can recover from that last one. Well, as you can see, these are not calibers that you're going to put on the bench and plink at cans with. That 4.58 lot and the 470 can induce quite a large amount of recoil. These are guns, like I said, that are stoppers. And for you clients looking for an all-around rifle that you can bring to Africa for hunting dangerous game, the 375 H&H is all you need. Now, I don't recommend doing this every day and shooting a lot of this, but that gives you a good idea of the recoil you can expect to feel when you're shooting these big bore rifles. And just be advised, I weigh 220 pounds. I'm not a small guy. So take that in consideration when you're planning on buying a big game, dangerous game rifle for Africa.